Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Don't know what's going on with my camera there, but there we go. Now you can see me a little better. But welcome in, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? It is the 16th of October, and we are one day away from my birthday. And this is my last day of being 38. That's what I keep thinking about. So this is the last day you'll have to hear about it. The last day you have to hear about me saying something about my birthday. But I love birthdays. I usually am a big fan of them. When it's someone else's, not so much myself. Not so much myself though. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? I saw that you're at a motel that they're doing some work I read at your place. So that's good to be out of there. Hey Ladybug, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Noisy building. Yeah, you don't want to be in with all that noise. I'd be mad, I'd be all cranky. Catherine, welcome in, having to hear all the people doing stuff. That's what we when they redid our place, we left and we went to Delphi and did content because it was like a 3.5 hour drive there. So, I read Catherine's comment about your kids are so young. Can I talk to you in school? It's like, no, you cannot talk to me in school. I used to always try to talk to my brother. He was so much older than me that we weren't really ever like in the same peer, like class, like he's 9 years older than me, 8 years older than me. So when, we were never in the same area for very long. But every once in a while, I would be able to sneak over to the high school for something. And I'd always go over there and say something to him. And it's probably because that was the one year that we were like in the same school. Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow, but you're going to see Annie Elise. That's awesome. That sounds like fun, Mary Beth. And Mary Beth, thank you for sending me those gifts. I got one over here sitting. I put it to the side. I didn't want Vincent to see it and think it was his and open it because I was like, that's mine. That's mine. Because like he brought one home. So he brought home this one, the one that you got me, Mary Beth. And then I have one that was delivered here. And they look exactly the same. Like the two like packages look identical. So I'm like, don't open the one that's on your desk. Don't open that one because I'm saving it just for tomorrow. Hey, Catherine, other Catherine with the C, Catherine with the K. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Ladybug. I know I said hey to you. Mary Beth, thank you for gifting a membership. That's very kind. Thank you. Whoever got the membership, make sure you say, Mary Beth, thank you. And looks like we got Cheryl gifting out memberships too. Oh, Ashley, something's gonna bless you one of these days. You are always out there doing the mostest and helping people. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Captain. Hey, Nash. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, girl? It's probably been like one night, and I'm like, feels like it's been forever. But I mean, it's like that, Hey, Cat's Life. Hey, Aries. You've been gone for too long because she changed it. No, it hasn't been too recent though. But I think that you've been here since she's changed it. Unless she did change it again. That looks like the picture. Welcome in, everyone. Hey, Doodlebug. Hey, Juno. Ooh, listening while you clean. For some reason, I thought that was. I'm really gotta look at the pictures like that, like just shove my head into the screen. For some reason, when I first saw that, I thought it was something else. Your little pictures. I thought they were snails. I don't know why I thought that. Hey, Linda. Hey, Dreamcatcher. Hey, Sirius. It's good to see everybody. Hey, Pam. Hey, I won't say Linda again. I'm gonna say hey, Linda twice. That would have been fine, though. That would have been fine. And thank you for gifting memberships, Cheryl. That's really sweet. Make sure you tell her thank you. And thank you, Pam. Looking forward to it. I am and I'm not. Like 38 sounds so much better than 39. But I told myself whenever I'm getting ready to turn 40, I'm sure I'll be saying this next year, like 39 sounds better than 40. Plus, I cried it out a little bit today because I always get super sad when it's my birthday because I miss my mom calling me. Like My dad, I don't know, dads are different. I don't know. Maybe it's because 'cause he's been gone longer, but just nothing like your mom calling you on your birthday, you know? And she used to call me a day early, so she used to call me today. So I told you guys earlier, if you were on our other live, I listened to the voicemail. I shouldn't have. It made me sad, but in like a good sad, you know, like I don't know, a good sad. Thanks, Nash. Appreciate that. I curled it. I wasn't going to curl it, and I was like, "Oh, let's just curl your hair for a minute. Let's just go ahead, curl your hair a little bit." Hey, proud Mimi. Hey, Sailor. I'm getting there. I'm getting to the bottom. Hey, Harley Rider. Well, thanks, Ladybug. I appreciate that. Hey, Cheryl. I think it was you that said earlier you liked my hair curly, and then that's why I curled it. Because one of y'all said in the live earlier you liked it curly, and I was like, I'm gonna curl my hair tonight. I, I don't know what it is. If you got it like just like before, Steve, he said you don't need makeup. I stopped wearing makeup for the longest time. I mean, literally for the longest time, for like a year. I just started wearing it again, and it's only because someone told me I looked really good in it. So, you know, I'm flippy floppy, whatever people tell me. I'm like, okay, okay, let's see. I take the constructive criticism. He said, "Need doodles, copy, paper, press, pass." That's a pretty long name. Hey, Angel. I'm getting towards the bottom, aren't I? Maybe. Hey, DM. Did I say hi to DM? Oh, yeah. Ashley, well, you're a good person. You're a really good person. Hey, Rocky. There's Cheryl again, gifting a membership. It's weird because I can't ever see it except for over here. We do. Oh, I'm reporting this channel by the Bullhorn Betty. Okay, well, what are you going to report about? That we're over here saying hello to people? Go ahead. Report. Report away. Oh, and I hope Thor saw that I unblocked him on the other channel. I didn't mean to block him. Thank you, Aries, for saying that. I literally just skipped right over it. Cheryl said, "Get lost, Bullhorn." There's a troll in the dungeon. Hey, Miss Ho. Hey, Mandolin. That's funny. We Oh gosh. I told you guys I read you the comment I got earlier, you know, on the other page. I had to read it to you over there. Some of those words, a lot of those words we usually don't use on this channel, but I was like, wow. I was like, somebody was so upset because all I did was put a video up. I didn't even give my own commentary like I normally do. I said, just don't do it, Tanya. Just don't, just put the video up and let other people decide by what they hear. And man, that lady was all mad. They're supposed to be under the bridge. They are, Doodlebug. I thought by, at midnight they were, or what, at 9:30, I'd say 'cause it's midnight, a few hours, but at 9:30 they're supposed to be under there. But I think it's a full moon. I looked up earlier and the clouds were kind of like covering it, but it looked like a full moon. And I was like, oh, here we go. Full moon alert. So tonight I basically want to go over Leilani Simon's trial. She has been going, it's her third day, and the prosecution has not held back on anything. Like they're just like pumping out the content, like to get people to want to watch, to stay and watch, you know, like the opening statements was like an hour and a half long. I love opening statements, and longer the better, because that means we're going to hear more about what the case is going to entail and what they're going to put on, on what they're going to put as their evidence. Well, today we were in the other live, and I knew they were going to have some witnesses on today, but I wasn't sure who. And I didn't really think it would be like a star witness right out the gate. But I guess it's like Alec Murdaugh trial. They're not holding back. They're not holding back. So Danny Youngkin, which was at the time Leilani Simon's boyfriend, he took the stand, and I thought we would listen to his portion of the hearing tonight. I tried to listen in on Leilani's interviews. Could you guys hear like the interviews today on other channels, like if you were watching? Welcome in, Reba. Hey, Jamie's Cowboys. You listen to it on and off? I couldn't even hear it. I couldn't even hear the freaking interviews that she was giving. I was so mad. I had headphones in too. So I was going to tell you, like, usually headphones will help. It made it worse. I feel like it was like she was screaming in my ears, but a mumbled grumble, like she had rocks in her mouth or something. I don't know. It was bad. And she was screaming, crying. Yeah. Nash Native. Yeah. I was at Target and I was just like, oh my Lord. I was trying to listen and I was like, I listened to it, but I couldn't listen to it. I don't know what I listened to. You had to blast the sound up. It was crazy. So I know that we can hear Daniel. When we were on the other channel today, I was looking over on YouTube to see what was going on. And I happened to click to see what was going on in the trial. And it was like right when he went on there. And I was like, oh, so he said some things today on the stand. And the biggest thing for me was that he said he never checked on Quentin that morning. Because I remember in my original video that I did for this case, either the first or the second one, I was doing a timeline. And I was like, at 5:35 or 6 a.m., Daniel checks on Quentin. He in his pack and play, he's fine. I'm about to have to go back to that video. I'm gonna pull that video because now he's saying he never checked on him. So now I'm like, whoa, I don't know. It really threw me through a loop. But let me see. Is this still on? I was watching this other little program earlier. Is it? It is. I think this is going to be just over like the last 2 days. Okay. So thanks, Cheryl. So let's go over, because I was going to go over the Vinny Politan Investigates thing, but they're like a day or two behind. So, and it's not Vinny, it's someone else. So we'll listen in on Daniel Youngkin's testimony. He's going to be probably their star witness. He knew her the mostest. He knew her the best. When he was on the stand, I thought that it was him when we were on the other channel, but I had to look him up because I was like, he gained a little weight. He looks good though. He looks healthy, looks good. I hope that he's, off of the rugs as well. But I didn't get to listen to a lot of his testimony, so we'll listen to it together. But I did hear a lot of the key pieces that he does say. And there's a lot in here that he says. He was working with the FBI for like day 3 of the investigation. So keep in mind, a week or 2 weeks after this happened, that's when these YouTubers descended on Leilani's house, right? And they were screaming the mostest, saying that Chatham County isn't doing their job. Bullhorn Betty went there and protested and said they weren't doing their job and all this and that. So while you're watching this trial, think of that. Remember those things because obviously they were doing the mostest. They were doing their job. They were doing it correctly. People were looking, they had people looking. Yes. Yep. No mention of the pack play. So when I first and I guess in the beginning of this, Daniel's story was kind of all over the place. He was debating on whether to lie for her or not. I don't know. So maybe that's where we heard it was out of his mouth, and then they changed it. I don't know. I just realized this. Look at this old school telephone in the background right there. Do you see it? By the lady in the suit. I wonder what that phone's used for. I'm curious. Okay, let's listen to Daniel, his testimony. And I'll keep it at regular speed and then see if it's a little slow, we'll speed it up a little bit. I don't think the closed captionings will come on though. They're not available. So yeah, the closed captionings aren't available, but I'll let this play through and we'll stop it whenever we need to. If you guys don't mind taking a second, hit the like button. It really helps my channel, helps me get into the algorithm, and that'd be great. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys being here.
Face the clerk to raise your
And he still has the dreads.
right hand.
The evidence you shall give the court and jury in the trial of this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Step this way for me, please.
All right, good afternoon.
Hi.
Mr. Dean.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
Yeah, I'm Daniel Youngkin.
And do you go by Danny typically?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it all right if I call you Danny?
By all means.
Where do you currently live, Danny? Not the street address, but city and state.
Orlando, Florida,
And how long have you lived there?
since April of last year.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Like, where was I born? Or
Yeah.
I was born in Germany.
And where did would you have a parent in the military or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who was that?
My biological father.
Where did you grow up?
Essentially Dunn, North Carolina,
Dunn, North Carolina?
for the main part.
For the court reporter, is that D-U-N-N?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to draw your attention to the defendant here. Do you know the defendant, Leilani Simon?
Yes, sir.
And how do you know her?
She's Sky's mother, my daughter.
Mother of your child.
Yeah.
When did you first meet her?
Maybe 2020 or something like that.
And how did you first meet her?
She drove up to North Carolina from here to see me.
Had y'all had some contact, not in person, I guess, before that?
Yes, sir.
How did y'all first, so you're talking about the first in-person meeting, if I understand you correctly?
Yes, sir.
How did y'all know each other before that?
Some social media network, something like that, like Snapchat or something.
Are you saying you had met online?
Yeah,
Can you tell us what you remember about that?
honestly, not much. Just speaking with her over social media and.
Sorry, I thought that was up all the way. I'm so sorry. It can go up. I just put it up higher. Sorry about that. I was like, it's kind of low. So I'm sorry. So watch your ears.
Arranging a meeting.
Let's go back to that first time you met in person in North Carolina. Can you describe that for me?
Yeah, she drove up in her friend's car to see me in North Carolina, and I was at my job where I was currently working.
Where were you working at that point?
Love's Travel Stop off of Hodges Chapel Road in Dunn.
Okay. So you said she came to see you at work.
Yeah, I was trying to get off that day so we could hang out.
And did y'all end up hanging out that day?
Yeah, I think, yeah, she stayed the night with me.
Okay. And was that a one night stay at that time or multiple nights or what?
I believe at the time it was a one night stay.
Okay. And after that, after staying with you for that one night, where did she go?
Back down here, I believe.
At some point, did she move up there and begin living with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did she have children at that point?
Yes, sir.
Did they come up and live with you as well?
No, sir.
What was your understanding of where they were at that time?
With her mother.
Okay. Now, where were y'all living when she moved up to North Carolina and started living with you?
In my parents' house.
Okay. And did she eventually get a job up there?
Yes, sir.
And where was that?
She had two separate jobs that she was working for at different time periods.
Okay. Can you tell us what they were?
One was at Love's Travel Stop on the gas station side, and the other one was Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, where I used to be a manager at.
Okay. And I'm not sure I understood you. Was she working those jobs? at the
Separate
same-
times.
Separate times. What was the first one?
Love's Travel Stop.
Okay. And you mentioned that you worked.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Did you all work there at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all overlapped at Love's?
Yes, we worked sometimes, like occasionally work the same shift on different sides of the store. I was working at the Subway there, but normally it'd be different shifts.
All right. And you're living in your parents' house with her?
Yeah.
About how long did that go on for?
I don't want to I don't remember, to be 100% honest.
Okay. At some point, did the two of y'all move down here to Savannah?
Yes, sir.
And where did y'all move into?
The house on Buckhalter Road.
Did y'all ever live in any other residence in Savannah, or was that the first place y'all moved back to?
No, that was it.
Okay. Who was living there at the time?
Her brother Joe was living there, and Thomas and Billy were there, living there, but they weren't there. They were working a lot, so they were on the road.
Okay. At some point, did Joe move out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at some point, did Paul move in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Defendant's brother, Paul Simon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When or where were y'all living at the time that the defendant gave birth to your child, Scott?
Buckhalter.
Okay, so y'all were living in Savannah at that time.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about the birth of Scott?
It was fast and enlightening for me, I guess.
Before Sky was born, and you were living in Savannah at the Buckhalter house, were Zane and Quentin living there as well?
Yes.
Okay. Was that the first time that you met Zane and Quentin when you moved down here with the defendant, or had you already met him during the time?
I had met Quentin before.
So let's go to the time period where you're living in Savannah in the Buckhalter house with the defendant and the three children, Zane, Quentin, and newborn Sky. What was your relationship like with her two older children, Zane and Quentin?
Good. I loved them like they were my own.
What do you remember about Zane?
Lots of energy, and liked to play a lot, and had a lot to say. Didn't really know how to say a whole lot, but had a lot to say.
What do you remember about Quentin?
Pretty much the same thing, honestly. And he was a lot more. He was more chill, I guess, than Zane. Zane was more high energy, but Quentin always had a lot he wanted to say and play with his brother a lot.
That's sad.
I see it as I've asked you these questions about the
He's
children.
smiling, you know?
You seem to be smiling a bit. Do you remember them fondly?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you about work in Savannah. When you first got down here,
That's
about how long did
terrible.
it take before you got a job?
I actually transferred from. Transferred from the Love's Travel Stop in North Carolina to the one off of Dean Forest Road and worked at the Hardee's there.
And was the defendant working anywhere in Savannah at that point?
Yeah, I think she was working at this gas station off of 204, I think.
Now, moving forward to the time frame of Quentin's disappearance, okay? And I want to ask you about October 2022. Do you remember the day of the 911 call and all that?
Yeah, I do, but vaguely, but yeah.
In that general time frame, where were you working?
I was working at a warehouse for a company named Eclipse.
And where was that warehouse located?
What's that? Port town. I forgot the name of the town.
Is it Port Wentworth?
Yeah, I didn't want to sound crazy by saying, yeah, that's what I think so.
And was the defendant working there as well?
Yes, sir.
What shift did you all work during that time period? What were your hours?
First, worked from like 6, just like 6 or 6:30 to like 3 or something like that.
And what about Paul? Was he working there as well?
Yes, sir. He was working the second shift.
And do you remember roughly what his hours were?
Yeah, I actually think we worked till like 2. I'm not 100%, but his were like 2 to 10 or something like that.
2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
roughly.
Yes, sir.
Would Paul probably be a better person to ask about that?
Probably.
October 4th specifically, the day before the 911 call. Okay, I want to ask you about that day specifically. Did you go to work that day?
The day before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And
No. No, maybe. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember. I know I took her to get her tooth pulled that morning.
the morning before the 911 call.
Yeah.
But you're saying you don't remember whether you were
I-
awake before that? or
I
not?
don't remember 100%. I'm not gonna.
That's fine. What do you remember about the defendant, taking the defendant to get her tooth pulled?
Early that morning. Oh yeah, I think we were at work that day, and we left because her tooth was hurting, and then I took her to the dentist, and she got her tooth pulled that day, and
Yeah, pulled that day.
yeah, that was pretty much that.
But she insists she's in pain after this tooth has been pulled.
What car were you in?
You wouldn't be in pain anymore.
Right.
Coming from
The
somebody that's had a tooth
diaphragm.
pulled.
And do you remember where the dentist was that you went to, or what it was called?
I do not. I barely remember the Savannah area.
Did you stay there with her while she had her dental work done?
In the general area, yeah, I wasn't allowed to be back there.
Okay, what do you mean by the general area?
But I went to the liquor store while she was getting her tooth pulled.
And did you end up driving her home?
Yes.
So after you went to the liquor store, did you come back to the dentist office that she was at?
Yes, sir.
I guess this is as good a time as any to talk about this. At that point in time, were you a bit of a drinker?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, please?
I like Fireball.
Were you drinking every day at that point in time?
Unfortunately,
What about now?
no.
So you're at the dentist office. Did she get her tooth pulled?
Yeah.
Okay. And at some point, did y'all leave?
Yes, sir.
Where did you go?
To get some food.
Do you remember where you went?
I believe it was Cheddar's or something. She wanted some soup.
Okay. And did y'all go anywhere after that?
I think back to the house, or maybe we went to 204 or we went back to the house. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Where were the kids at the time you got back to the house?
With the babysitter, Michelle.
And is that where they had been all day
Yes, sir.
from before y'all went? to
Yeah,
work?
yeah. That's why they were at Michelle's, because we wouldn't work.
Okay. Tell us about the process of getting the kids ready and dropping them off at Michelle's in the morning. How would that go?
Normally, I would get them ready and drop them off myself while she slept.
What do you mean? I thought y'all worked the same shift.
We did, but she tended to sleep in as late as possible. And I would normally get the kids ready and drop them off over there and then come back and get her.
Did you, when you would take them to the babysitter, I understand she lived pretty close to y'all's house.
Across the street.
Would you walk them over there or drive?
No, I'd drive them. That would be a little rough to try and carry Sky and walk the other two little ones across the street at the same time.
I see. So the morning before the 911 call, the day of the trip to the dentist, had you done that in the morning? Taking the
Drove
children?
them over, yes.
Yeah, okay. And let's go back to Cheddar's. You left the dentist, you've gone to Cheddar's to get some soup for the defendant.
I believe it was close by, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure.
And after Cheddar's, you said you came home, right?
Yeah.
What happened after you got home? What did the rest of the day look like as far as you remember?
To be honest, I really don't, other than like, I know she went to sleep and I tried to clean up a little bit and stuff before I went and picked up the kids, and then picked up the kids and came back and kind of just followed suit.
And do you remember when you picked up the kids?
Not the exact time, though, but I know the general time was around like 4:30 or 5 is when I was supposed to.
He seems genuine to me. I wonder what he's thinking. You know what I mean? Like having them be in the same room with her.
I'd like to approach with what I've marked as State's Exhibit 85, Your Honor. Take a look at that.
Has her mom been in the courtroom? Has anyone seen her, Billy Joel? They do, Sharon. I had stitches once, and I think it was a back tooth, a bottom tooth, and yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like getting teeth pulled, but I've had to have it done. Oh no, I think they said she wasn't going. Oh, it doesn't have closed captioning. It says it wasn't available. Yeah, I was like, man, I wish it did, because then I was gonna speed it up a little bit.
Do you recognize the document that I've just handed you?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Text messages between me and Michelle, the babysitter.
Did you text Michelle about picking the children up that day, October 4th?
Yes.
All right. Does this document that I've given you fairly represent your text messages with Michelle during this time frame?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd offer this in as State's Exhibit 85.
Mr. Hilliard,
No objection, Your Honor.
okay, states 85 is admitted.
Can you look at that and tell me when you texted Michelle about when you were going to pick the children up on October 4th?
At 2:32 p.m., I texted her and said, "We just got home. Leilani got her top wisdom tooth removed, top left wisdom tooth removed. I'm gonna try and clean for a few while she naps. She's still loopy from the meds. Is 4:30 still okay?"
And what did Michelle say?
Okay, 4:30.
And did you end up picking up the children around that time?
Around that general time, yeah. But I think it might have been 5 o'clock or something like that, but general time frame, yes.
And did you bring them home?
Yes.
So now we're in kind of the late afternoon. And who's in the house?
Me, Leilani, and the Quentin, Sky, and Zane.
And was Paul at work during this time frame, as far as you know?
Yeah.
Did you make any trips away from the house to get a beer or go to Redbox or anything like that?
Probably.
Okay. And what do you remember about dinner that night?
I think I might have remade some spaghetti, added another can of sauce and more meat and stuff like that to some spaghetti I made like the day before or something like that.
Did the defendant participate in preparing dinner that day, from what you remember?
Not from what I remember.
What was she doing?
Dang. No wonders why he wanted to skedaddle and get out of the relationship with her. He's cooking the food. He's doing the things with the kids. She got herself a babysitter.
To be honest, whatever she normally did, I kind of tried to not stress myself out too much about whatever she was doing.
Now, how was Quentin during the time frame that we're talking about? Dinner time,
Fine,
time frame?
perfectly fine.
Nothing out of the ordinary?
No, not at all.
After dinner, at some point, did y'all get the kids ready for bed and put them down? Or one or both of you?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
What do you remember about that? Try to put yourself back in that house and tell me what you remember about the bedtime routine.
I really don't, to be honest. I was not fully. I probably just the normal, get them changed into their night clothes and make sure they're all cleaned up and fed, and Zane would have his little tablet and Quentin would have his tablet, and they just watch TV until they fell asleep.
Now, from this point forward, did you leave the house again that night at any point?
No.
So let me get this
And
straight real
did the
quick.
defendant-
Just want to get this straight really quick. You can afford tablets for the kids, but you can't afford beds for them. Okay? Can't afford a bed for them, but you can afford a tablet. Priorities.
Yes, sir.
What is the first trip that you remember her taking?
To 204.
Did the two of y'all talk about that? She say anything to you before she left?
Yeah, she told me she was doing that.
When they refer to 204, they're referring to the drug dealer.
Do you remember what led up to her leaving? Anything about that?
No,
That's
not
fine.
really.
And what were you doing at the time that she left for 204?
Laying in bed,
What were the children doing?
laying down as well.
Where were each of the three children in the house?
Zane was on his race car bed. Sky was on the couch or in her swing, and Quentin was in his playpen.
At the time that the defendant left for 204, was Quentin okay?
Yeah.
Did anything at all out of the ordinary happen to that point?
No.
And what happened, what was going on while she was gone on that trip to 204?
I think I fell asleep.
Anything unusual happened with the children while she was gone?
No. Oh, well, I was getting ready to fall asleep, and then Paul came home.
Oh, okay. Paul came home at some point while you were,
Yeah.
well, if I understand it correctly, while the defendant was gone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me about Paul coming home.
He came into the room and asked where Leilani was, and I told him where she was, and then he said okay, and then he went and got some food for himself from the fridge or the freezer, and just ate, I guess, and chilled.
When you say he came into the room, what do you mean? What room are we talking about?
The downstairs portion of the house where we were residing.
The bedroom that the
Yeah, that's,
five of y'all lived in together, you, Leilani, and the three
Yeah.
children?
yeah, like 2 bedrooms, but yeah,
Where were you when Paul came into the room?
in the bed
And where were the children?
on the other side of the room in their beds.
Were they okay at that point?
Yeah.
Do you remember Paul having any interaction with the three children when he came in?
Not 100%, no, but he might have said something to Zane. Might have said hey to Zane or something.
At some point, did Paul go upstairs? I think you mentioned something about him going to eat.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember about that?
I wasn't in there, so I don't really remember. I just know he was in the kitchen for a second, and
Okay.
I couldn't see what he was doing. So
Did you see him again after that?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. At some point, did he go upstairs and confine himself to his room?
I would imagine so, since I stayed in the room in the bed. But yeah, I would say yes.
Now, do you remember the defendant getting home from the 204 trip?
No,
And why is that?
I was asleep.
What's the next memory you have of that night or morning?
Waking up, and she was beside me, and that was that.
At the time that you went to sleep, was Quentin okay?
Yeah.
Had anything at all happened at that point?
Not to my knowledge.
And let's talk about the night. Do you remember seeing or hearing anything during the night?
No, I don't.
Do you remember waking up to anything unusual or anything like that?
No,
Had you had anything to drink that night?
I would imagine so,
Why do you say that?
because that was my daily routine.
What was your daily routine like in terms of drinking? I know you said earlier, I asked you to kind of talk about your drinking. You said
Probably.
you liked Fireball, but a
Like
little more specifically, what would you drink on a daily basis?
probably over the course of the day, probably like four or five shots of Fireball and like 3 or 4 25-ounce beers.
And how much of that was after work in the afternoon and evening?
A majority.
So let's go to you waking up. Did you wake up naturally, or did you wake up in response to an alarm, or what?
But yeah, I think my alarm on my phone went off.
And where did you have your phone that night?
Maybe it was under my pillow. I don't know.
Why would it have been under your pillow?
She had a tendency of going through my things.
What do you mean?
She would, without my knowledge, take my devices and go through them, and I felt it was invasive.
Why was she doing that?
It is invasive, but I mean, don't be hiding your stuff.
She
I don't know.
had this idea that I was wronging her.
How were things between the two of you at this time?
There wasn't much there. I was there for Sky.
So you think you had an alarm set and your phone might have been under your pillow? Is that kind of where we left off?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you get up, what do you do?
Normally try and be quiet so I don't wake any of the kids up. And I tried to wake her up, but she was, normally if I do that, I'd either get yelled at or something like that. So I said, hey, are you going to work today? She'd be like, no. And that's when I proceeded to text Michelle and say that she was going to watch the kids. As in this exhibit here, it says, hey, the kids are going to stay here with her today, Miss Michelle.
And what time was that text sent?
5:20 a.m.
A moment ago, you were talking about what would happen in the morning. You get up for work and you try to wake her up. And you said she would be like,
Oh, yeah, she'd yell at me or, yeah, pretty much I'd get yelled at.
by the
Well, that's
phrasing,
because
she would
That's because she didn't have her morning rugs.
be like yelling at you. Can I take from that this is something that this was not the first time this had happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us about that? There's a history of this?
It's a pretty general thing at that time.
Tell me what you mean.
I would try and wake her up to go to work, and she would either yell at me for waking her up or say she's not going in, and she would make up the time and go in with Paul on his shift, it'd be a rare occasion for me not to get yelled at or that to happen.
Why was it during that time frame that you were able to get up and go to work as scheduled, and she would have these difficulties with that? What was going on?
I'm sorry, could you?
Why was it that you were able to get up to go to work and she was having these difficulties getting up, going to work during this time period? What was going on?
Oh,
Why was that?
I would go to sleep and she wouldn't be there. So I just was kind of making sure that I could get a paycheck at that point. So I just kind of let her be her own person, of course. Well, not let her, but you know, she would do whatever she did, and I would make sure that the kids were taken care of and that I'd make it to work at least
Wow.
somewhat on time.
So there are times you go to sleep at night so that you're able to get up for work and she's not there.
There were times that I got, yeah.
And would she talk to you about where she had been?
I never asked.
Now, let's go back to that text message to Michelle. Were you, before you sent that text message to Michelle, had you been planning on taking the 3 children to Michelle's house that morning?
Yeah, the plan was because we missed the day before work for her tooth removal. And we both were scheduled for the next day for a shift. The plan was to drop the kids off and go to work with her
Were y'all salaried or hourly?
hourly.
So if you don't go to
It
work,
mattered.
you don't get paid.
It mattered.
Were y'all saving up for anything in particular at this point in time?
So, yeah, a place.
Tell me about that.
They're saving up for a
What would
place
you
to live.
like to know about it?
Well, what were y'all trying to do?
Oh, get our own place and out of her mother's house.
And why was that?
There were some complications going on that we were told we had to leave, so we were preparing for that.
And did
Trying to.
on the day that we're talking about, October 5th, 2022, did you all at that time have the money to go into your own place?
No.
And were you trying to accumulate the money to do that?
Yes.
What type of place were y'all planning to get? Apartment, house? What are we talking about?
Really whatever we could afford.
And is that something that y'all have been talking about in the days leading up to October 5th?
Yeah.
How much did y'all have to pay the babysitter? Well, first let me ask you, did you pay her?
Yeah.
And do you remember how much? Per day or per week or what?
Yeah, it says here, at the top of the exhibit where she sent me a text message saying, "Hey, I haven't been charging for Sky. I do this charge for newborns until they are 3 months. So I will have to start charging for Sky. So 45 a day is 225, but I'll charge y'all 200 for all 3. That is still a good deal. Daycare would be way more
And that was going to be 200 how
a week,
often?
which is quite an expense.
For
For 5 days a week, that's what it was added up to. So
what was the date of that text message where Michelle told you that she was about to have to start charging separately for Sky?
October 3rd.
And prior to that, had y'all only been paying for Zane and Quentin?
Yeah.
So it was about to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So when she wouldn't wake up on the morning of October 5th, were you frustrated by that?
At that point, I just kind of blocked everything out and just made sure I made it work.
How did you get to work?
I drove the vehicle that her mother had bought for her,
Which vehicle was that?
the Dodge Journey.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary in the vehicle when you got in it?
No.
If there are if there were fireball and curveball bottles in that vehicle at the time that police searched it, is it possible that those are attributed to you? Attributable to you?
Yeah, quite likely.
Did you sometimes drink in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would that be like while you were driving or when you were on break? Or
Unfortunately,
what do you remember about driving to work? Anything out of the ordinary?
no, nothing out of the ordinary. Just trying to get there.
Getting out of the house that morning, when you left the house and got in the car, did you have any idea that Quentin was gone?
No,
Did you turn the lights on in that room before you left?
no, sir, I did not.
Why not?
I didn't want to wake any of them.
Did you believe that there were 3 sleeping children in that room when you woke up?
I did believe that.
Is it fair to say that you were kind of trying to sneak out without disturbing them?
Yeah, because if I wake them up, then it's a whole thing.
Did you look in Quentin's pack and play before you left?
No, I didn't.
You okay?
Yeah.
At some point during the investigation, was there a period of time where you told the police that you had seen him that morning?
Yes, sir.
Were you sure about that at the time you said it?
No.
See,
And
so he did say it. Okay. Because I was like, he said that he saw Quentin that morning because I did a timeline about this case right when it first started happening. So he just was unaware. Okay.
are you sure now that you didn't
Now I
see
know.
him?
I didn't look.
I noticed that you seemed, I asked you if you looked and it seemed like you got a little emotional in response to that question. What is it about that question in particular that makes you upset?
Just, I wish I looked. No, I don't know if it would have made it. I don't. Just wish I looked.
Anything out of the ordinary from your perspective when you're leaving the house that morning?
No, sir.
Anything out of the ordinary in terms of the drive to work?
No, sir.
Anything out of the ordinary in terms of arriving at work?
No.
And when you left the house to go to work, which door did you go out of?
The back door by the pool.
Is that the one where you have to walk out through the bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Now, did you work a full shift that day?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I received a phone call from Leilani saying that Quentin was missing
Where were you when you got that phone call?
in the back of a truck, loading it, because my job was to load 18-wheelers by hand.
So you're in a truck loading boxes and you get this call.
Yes, sir.
And what is your best recollection of what she said to you on that call?
Have you seen, or Quentin's not here? I'm pretty sure it just began with, where's Quentin? Where's my baby? Quentin's not here.
How long was that phone call, as far as you remember it?
From the time she called me to the time I got to Buckhalter.
And what were y'all talking about during that time period?
She was crying most of the time. I just stayed on the phone with her the whole time.
Did she tell you anything about what happened when she woke up?
The door was open or something, and Quentin wasn't in his playpen. And me trying to calm her down.
Going back to when you got this call and you left work, tell me about leaving work. What do you remember about it?
I ran out of there as fast as I could, and I actually
Yeah, you
left
did.
my jacket and a whole pack of cigarettes, which later on my boss mailed it to me, thankfully. and it still had a pack of cigarettes in it.
What's his name?
Dave.
Did you see Dave that morning?
Yeah.
I hope they show that video again. The dude was flying. Did you guys see the video of him running through work to leave? I would only hope that Vincent's body could move at that speed as his. I mean, he was like straight across there. I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's going to run over someone, like just run, like literally just run over them because he was going so fast.
I passed him in the parking lot. I didn't say anything, but he stopped me and he said, "Hey, you can't run past security like that."
Sorry.
And I explained what happened, and he said, "Okay." And I left.
Was this when you were on the way out to go home?
Yes, sir.
There was security at the exit to the warehouse?
Yeah, there's security there when you go in and when you leave.
Why is there security when you go out?
I think they just stay there all day for people who come in.
Okay. And you're supposed to get checked out by security when you go out?
Well, you're supposed to talk with whoever your supervisor is, but I didn't even care to stop.
Okay. You just kind of blew by.
Yeah.
I'd like to approach with what I have marked as State's Exhibit 30. Your Honor.
Okay.
Do you recognize this disc?
Yes, sir.
What is on this disc?
Me going into work and me leaving work.
You
Here
refer
it
to
is.
video recordings?
Yes, sir.
Do the recordings on this disc fairly and accurately depict your arrival to work that morning and your departure?
Yeah.
Watch his departure this day. I think it'll give you a whole new meaning on this guy. Like, I mean, really did for me.
Your Honor, I would offer, yeah, it's fine. I would offer this as State's Exhibit 30.
No objection.
All right, admit it without objection.
What does that mean? He's gonna play it. Sorry.
Ask the court, does that mean you're about to play it? And I responded, yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. Where everything is being recorded, everything that we say is taken down.
If you guys are just now coming in, I have a banner going, but I never do banners, so people probably don't even recognize it. But this is Daniel Youngkin. This is who we're watching tonight. This is Leilani Simon's ex-boyfriend at the time of Quentin's disappearance and death. They were dating. This is the guy that she was more, caught up in their relationship than her kids. This guy actually was taking care of all of her kids for her while she was out doing whatever. It's crazy.
Before
He is very, 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 very polite.
I play it, Matt, is there any particular reason you asked that question?
I didn't understand what you said. You said you presented the. I just didn't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No apology necessary.
She looks evil. Doesn't she?
Your Honor, I'm now going to publish from State's Exhibit 30 a file with the name IMG_0695.
All right, you may proceed.
Do you see yourself, before I play it here, and again,
Yeah.
I don't know why every video is sideways, but this one is. Do you see yourself in this video?
Yes, sir.
Where are you?
The bright orange.
What is that bright orange garment that you have on?
My North Face jacket.
Let me go back. Is the bright orange thing your North Face jacket, or is that a safety vest?
I believe that's my jacket. I believe that's my jacket
Okay.
because my jacket is bright orange.
So is that you getting to work?
Yes, sir.
Anything abnormal at that time?
No, just looks like I was trying to get there and not be late. I have a tendency to wait till the last second.
And I'll now play IMG_0697. And what do we see in that video?
Me running very, very quickly without my jacket.
What did you think at this point was going on?
I wasn't sure. I had just received a phone call and was still on the phone with her, so I was just trying to get back to the house as soon as possible.
At some point, did you get home?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And did you talk to the defendant once you got there?
Yes, sir.
What was going on when you arrived at the house?
She was outside on the back porch crying.
Were the police there yet?
No, sir.
What did you all talk about at that point?
I asked her what was going on, really, like details, and what she thought happened and stuff like that.
You said she was on the back patio crying, if I understood you correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where on the back patio was she?
Underneath the, like, where the, I don't, sitting in a chair right outside the back
Awning.
door.
Yeah, by that wooden bar
Yeah,
structure?
that used to be there, yeah.
She was sitting down
Yes, sir.
on the back patio
Yes, sir.
crying.
Yes, sir.
There are woods all around that house, right?
Yes, sir.
When you got home, was she not looking for
Yeah, why wouldn't she be looking?
one?
No, sir.
What was she doing in the chair other than crying, if anything?
Just crying, saying she didn't know where he was.
Had she called the police yet, to your knowledge?
No, sir.
At some point, were the police called?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did Michelle come over there
Yes, sir.
and her daughter, Talia, or one of her daughters?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how it was that Michelle knew to come over there?
Yes, sir. I called her.
When, in relation to your arriving home, did the police finally get called?
After I took a look around, I called Michelle and then called them, maybe? Yeah.
Is it fair to say it sounds like you don't necessarily remember who exactly called the police when?
Oh, no, I remember I called the police, but I believe Michelle was the first person that was called to see if she had maybe gotten Quentin or something.
Was Paul there when you got home?
I can't remember.
So let's talk about when the police get there. Okay, do you remember talking to some police officers in the driveway?
Yes, sir.
And the defendant was there, right?
Yes, sir.
Did she start talking about Quentin's father, Henry Bubba Moss Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Now, had she been talking to you about him before they arrived, or no?
She mentioned him.
When did she mention him? Was it when you were on the phone in the car, or after you had gotten home, or
I believe it was when I got back to the house.
And what did she say about him that you remember?
That he had sent her a message saying that she didn't deserve to have Quentin.
Now, when was she saying that she had gotten those messages from him?
Maybe I think she said it was 2 weeks ago at that date.
Is this morning, the morning of Quentin being gone, was that the first you had heard of those messages?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so she's talking to you about something that supposedly happened a couple weeks ago. And you're saying she hadn't told you about that until this moment.
Correct.
Now, did you all talk during the time period between when you got home and when police arrived about what she had done during the night? Where if anywhere, she had gone?
No.
But there was some period of time between when you got home and when the police got there.
Yes, sir.
And then the police were there for quite a long time, right?
Till we went to the police station, and probably after that.
At some point, did you hear her tell a police officer that she had left the house sometime after 1 a.m. To get some Oragel from a friend at a Chevron?
Yeah, that's what she told the police officer. Yes, sir.
At the time she told that to the police officer, was that the first time you had heard that?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Uh-oh. Haha. She probably pissed. Look at. Write them notes, Leilani. Is she drawing a picture? Yeah. Yeah, she is. She's drawing a picture or something it looked like. Like a smiley face. I don't know.
I'd like to show you a clip of body-worn camera footage that's been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 8, okay? Are you kind of oriented on what we're looking at here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
First of all, does this opening frame here depict the patio area where the defendant was sitting down at the time that you got home from work in the first place?
Is that where she was sitting when I got home?
Well, I mean, does anything in this image show where she was sitting down?
Yeah. The far left, beside Paul. But Paul wasn't. I don't know where Paul was. She was sitting in the far left chair, the empty one.
And you're saying she was alone at that point?
Yes.
Okay. This is sometime later, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to play this.
When was the last time they used that pool is my question. This is just October. Your pool wouldn't turn green that fast, would it? Maybe. I don't know.
For you now and ask you some questions about it.
Shock that thing.
Okay.
Have patients for sale. They just got here. Did y'all go anywhere last night or yesterday with baby? That maybe he could have followed you or something to that effect? Y'all didn't go anywhere? Not even my kids, no. No, maybe you yourself. Yeah, I know, because I got my tooth pulled yesterday, so my tooth, maybe, I went to the board, that was it. 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon? No, like morning, I couldn't go to sleep.
So imagine being Daniel, and this is the first time you're hearing this story. Because remember, he was there the night before, sleeping in the bed with her. I mean, like, hello. It can turn green in 24 hours. Dang. No, I don't have an in-ground. I mean, I do have an in-ground pool, but we don't have to take care of it. So
Okay, so where'd you go? Right up the road right here, got Chevron. I met my friend I used to work with. She had ordered milk because they didn't have any Circle K when I called. Okay. Did you go anywhere else that you maybe been home? So when did you get home? I can tell you exactly the time on that.
I've stopped the playback at 12:13:19 on the timestamp. Could you hear as you were standing there? First of all, is that you in the orange reflective vest there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you hear what she was saying to this officer? I mean, obviously the body cam picked it up, but could you hear it standing there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How were you feeling? What were you thinking?
look at his
as you
face.
heard
He's
her say
looking like
this?
Well, you can see me tilt my head to the side as if I had no knowledge of what she was referring to.
Yeah, did it? I mean, how did it strike you? How did this story strike you? What did you think?
What the hell? Sorry. Excuse my language. What the heck?
It's fine. You had no knowledge of this at the time.
Yes, sir.
You said that you tilted your head to the side
you
when
can see it.
you first heard this story. Can you? I'm going to play it back, and I want to see if you can point out. First of all, show us what that looked like just from the stand.
Just like a tilt to the side, like what?
And if I play this back, can you point out to us where that happens in this video?
But yes, sir.
Have patience, we're still. They just got here. Did y'all go anywhere last night or yesterday with baby? That maybe he could have followed you or something? Y'all didn't go anywhere? Not even with my kids, no. No, just maybe you yourself. Yeah, I know, because I got my tooth pulled yesterday, so I went to the board, that was it. 2 o'clock.
That little fraudulent slip she didn't mean to have. I didn't leave anywhere with my kids.
Yesterday afternoon? No, like morning, I couldn't go to sleep. Okay, so where'd you go? Right up the road right here, got Chevron. I met my friend I used to work with. She had ordered milk because they didn't have any Circle K when I called. Okay. Did you go anywhere else that we maybe been home?
I'm pausing it because I see you pointing at the screen. That's 12:13:15. We can kind of see your head tilt to the side a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to play that one more time from just a couple seconds back for anybody that might not have caught it. Because you would agree that it is subtle, right?
Yes, sir. And he was moving around, so you could kind of, you have to pay attention to see it.
Did you go anywhere else? Have you maybe been home? So when did you get home?
All right, so you had not seen that before, or you had not heard that before, I should say.
No, I hadn't.
And your reaction was, what the hell, revised to what the heck? Right?
Yes, sir.
Did you all go to the police station?
Yes, sir.
And did you cooperate with an interview or perhaps multiple interviews that day?
Quite a few.
Did the police ask you for consent to search your phone?
Yeah.
And did you agree to that?
By all means.
Did that concern you at all?
Not one bit.
After the police station that day, where did you go?
Back to Buckhalter.
And a few days later, did you come in to the FBI office in Savannah for a follow-up interview?
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
Now,
there we go.
between the first day's interviews and those follow-up interviews, Had the FBI asked you to do anything in particular as it relates to the defendant?
Yes, sir.
And what was that?
To
Let me ask you this. Did the FBI propose to you that they put you up in a hotel room and that they wire that hotel room up for audio and video?
yes, sir.
And did they tell you why it was that they wanted to do that?
Yes, sir.
What was it? What was the reason for this?
To collect evidence against Leilani.
Did you know at this point what had happened to Quentin?
No, sir. I had. I just know what I was told.
And did you agree to this monitoring of the hotel room?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any concerns about doing that?
No, none at all.
Did you have any concerns about you yourself getting in trouble from something that might be said on that recording by one or the other of you?
Not at all. Wait,
Did-
by me getting no.
Did you sign paperwork agreeing to this?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to approach with what I've marked as State's Exhibit 31.
So is this when they went to Tybee Island? A little like Tybee Island action?
Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Me initialing for permission for them to bug the hotel room, quote unquote.
And does that document have your signature on it?
Three places where I initialed.
And when does it reflect in terms of the date that you agreed to do this?
10/7/2022.
Now, did you all go through with
October 7th.
Yes, sir.
What?
10/7/2022.
Now, did you all go through with this?
Yes, sir.
Now, before agreeing to this, let me ask you this. After the first day of interviews, you all leave, but before the follow-up interviews at the FBI office, did you talk to her about that night and what had happened?
I'm so sorry.
It was a long, kind of convoluted question. I'll try again. So y'all go in on October 5th and you're interviewed by the police at the police department.
Correct.
At some point y'all leave, right?
Yes, sir.
And then at some point y'all are in a bugged hotel room.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Between those two things, between leaving the police station on day one and the hotel room operation, I'll call it, were you and the defendant together with each other?
Yes, sir.
And were you talking to her at that point about like what had happened to Quentin and
I
where
was-
she had been that night?
Yeah.
Did she ever? Did you ask her about this Oragel story that she had told the police on the scene?
No, not in detail.
Did you ask her about that during the hotel room thing?
Yes, sir.
And did she repeat it to you?
Repeat denying it?
Well, keep saying that that's what she had been doing.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah. Yes, sir. I don't know where my head was at when I was saying that.
Ms. King, you might want to ask that again.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure that Ms. Youngkin understood.
Were you skeptical of the Oragel story?
Yes, sir.
When you're in the hotel room with her, did you ask her about
Yes, sir.
it? And what did she say about it?
That's what she did.
That it was true?
Yes, sir. And she stuck to it.
So my brain is over here working. Is this when they were in Tybee? Because if this is when they were in Tybee Island, then man, YouTubers could have really messed this up. Betty and crew, that decided to go over there, and Molly Go Lightly, and I think Justin might have been with them, one of the other ones, but
Sorry about that.
I'd like to approach with what I've marked as State's Exhibit 32, Your Honor. Do you recognize this disc?
Yes, sir.
And what's on it?
Recording of the hotel,
Right.
the room that we were in.
Just a couple selections, right?
Yes, sir.
Does it fairly and accurately depict some of your interactions in the hotel room with the defendant?
Quite well.
this, I believe they said that this was like the 7th or something like that. So it is a different time because when they went to Tybee Island, it was on Wednesday, October 19th. So I just wanted to let everyone know.
And I would for this into evidence as State's Exhibit 32, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 32 is admitted without objection.
And I would introduce 31 at this point, Your Honor, to the consent form.
No objection to that, Bob.
All right, very well, it is admitted.
And there are 5 files on this disk. The first 4 are each about a minute long, and then the last one is about 7 minutes long. I'll start with the first one, the file name beginning 1941.
So can I ask you a question? Do you mind? Are you gonna get mad? I'm asking you a question before I ask you this question. No, because I need to know. Are you gonna get angry? I can't tell you don't get angry, but I want questions. Why did you lie to me? About the order? I didn't. I did not lie to you about the order. So you went and met Misty? Yes, and I drove in and I drove out. And they tried to say that again, and I asked them to show me a picture of Misty or whatever. Did y'all speak to my phone lady? Did you speak to her? Did you speak to her husband? Is what I wanted to know. You know? And they said her husband. Why didn't you speak to her? Okay.
Start that again. I want to stop.
So can I ask you a question?
Wonder what Leilani's thinking right now. Like, damn, he had me on video.
Do you mind? Are you gonna get mad? I'm asking you a question before I ask you this question. No, because I need to know. Are you gonna get angry? I can't tell you don't get angry, but I want questions. Why did you lie to me? About the order? I didn't. I did not lie to you about the order. So you went and met Misty? Yes, and I drove in and I drove out. And they tried to say that again, and I asked them to show me a picture of Misty or whatever. Did y'all speak to my phone lady? Did you speak to her? Did you speak to her husband? Is what I wanted to know. You know? And they said her husband. But
I paused it at 1942:17 on the timestamp. And the timestamp reflects that this was on October 8th of 2022, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you catch there what she said about what police told her about who they had interviewed?
She said they interviewed her husband.
She was saying police told her that they had only interviewed Misty's husband.
Well, yeah.
That's what she told you, at least.
Yes, sir.
And I'll pick up the playback again.
No, there is orange in it. There's orange in it.
No, I did not lie. I didn't lie to you about that.
So you went and got orange.
I went and got orange on. Pull it in and pull it out, just like I told you last night.
And then they question you again about that?
That's the only thing else.
We heard you say there that there was orangeo in there. I'll give you that. What were you referring to?
There was orangeo behind the mirror in the house, in
And
the bathroom.
when did you see that orangeo?
The day, the 5th, I believe.
Okay, so like after, was it after you
Oh.
had been at the police station?
Yeah, no, maybe. I'm not gonna act like I remember 100%, but I know it was there. I think there was 2 tubes, like an empty tube and one that had some in it,
And where'd you say it was?
behind the mirror in the downstairs bathroom connected to the room.
The second file here with the file name starting with 2013. We'll publish that now.
She had orangeo already.
So what did you do when you left at 1 in the morning? What did you do?
I went straight up there to the tail, right up to the zodiac shop, got the word, looked around the neighborhood, came home.
That's what you did.
Yes.
You can look me in my
I am
eyes.
looking you in your eyes, Danny. That is what I did.
You can look
That
me
is
in
what I did.
Just don't, you don't
Stop.
want to yell.
Look at me in my eyes too. That is what I did. There was nothing else that I did. I came home and I went to bed. And I woke up to my baby gone. Do you understand me?
So you didn't do anything else?
No, nothing else at all. I was gone for 12 minutes.
And who did you meet?
Misty.
You met Miss.
Yes.
Mm.
And now the third file, starting with 2017.
You didn't meet Misty?
That's like my whole family believes me more than my man does. At this point.
I just don't know everything.
You do.
Nobody knows everything.
The only thing we don't know is what happened to Quinn.
So what did happen in your car?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. I have no idea what to fathom. I cannot make up something in my head about what could possibly happen. I have no idea what happened to that baby.
I'm asking you, as a man to my woman, what do you think may have happened?
Yeah.
I'm just, and we ain't talking in a minute about what could have happened.
But we did spoke about it last night, and I have no idea what could have happened. I don't care about what could have happened. I want to know what happened.
So where's he at?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to push it.
No, you said this, so where is he at? I'm getting picked up. I'm doing everything I bought for me. No. If there's an only person I'm sitting here wanting the love and support from that I thought would be.
She's doing the old feel bad for me, I'm gonna leave. And then she goes and throws whatever that thing is away so she could buy herself some more time. Now she's gonna take 15 minutes to put her tennis shoes on. Watch. I'm just telling you from a female point of view. She's gonna want him to stop her. And she's gonna say, I'm just leaving, I'm just going. I can see where this is heading.
Being on my side 100% is on the fucking FBI side.
Oh man, they cut it off too soon. See, we would have saw another 15 minutes of her just yelling.
And the fourth file, with file name beginning 2025.
She's still there.
Well, go smoke your cigarette now. I'll wait till you calm down a little bit.
I just wish I would have not sit in the hospital with the worst time of my life. You didn't have to sit here and explain the only thing that you did not know that I did. And I explained it. Last night and tonight.
How you did what?
Went and got orangeo.
That I didn't know about.
That's the only thing you didn't know. That when I left you at 2 o'clock, you were awake. When I got back, you were awake.
From 204?
Yes.
Okay. But not from your.
Not from that. I like shook you and said, I'm going to go get order. You said, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm like, okay,
Okay. And you remember that clearly?
I remember that clear as day. You made that little sound that I hate you fucking doing.
Okay. Okay.
This is her packing her stuff up. That's her packing her stuff up. She took forever.
And then the last file started 2029.
He didn't film her. The FBI had this rigged.
You should have possibly saying that. What? Because I just need support? That I'm asking for your love and support and not your questions and doubt?
I'm asking you questions so I can understand.
But how many times do you have to ask me the same question about the same time, just like the fucking FBI does?
Okay, so it's just like the FBI, but you don't talk to me.
Yes, I have. I just sat here and explained to you.
You just talk
I
to
told
me.
you about it yesterday too, about what I did. You made me promise that too.
Okay, so
He's
you
confusing.
promised me with your pinky promise
Yes.
that you went and got
And
Oreo.
I went and got Oreo from Missy. I pulled in the neighborhood and I turned around and I went home.
You didn't go nowhere
I
else.
didn't go anywhere else.
You didn't do anything.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
Okay. Let's talk your secret. I love you.
I think what you're going to do is you don't know that FBI in your head and now I got you over here questioning me.
No.
There
This is
she
exactly
is.
what it is. Danny,
Look at her.
this is one of the hardest times of my life and I did not need you to question me. I need your love and affection and support and somebody sitting there telling me that we're going to find him, that it's going to be okay, that they're going to do their job.
We're gonna find him. We're going to find Clint. They are going to find Clint. They're going to find Clint.
I hope they do.
I do too. I really do.
So they told me that they still didn't have any leads.
Does he ain't have none?
No.
Makes sense.
And she knows where he is right at this moment. I hope they find him too. No, you're hoping that that truck is to the landfill.
Did they tell you?
And they didn't have anything they could tell me.
What is she doing?
And it's aggravating.
It's frustrating as hell.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You just sit here and go split your spirit. Let me question you that way. Like you have a good question twice as hard as I have.
Twice as hard? Nah, baby. I'm the only other person in that house that's involved. You don't think I got interrogated like a goddamn fucking. Bro, you know that.
It's funny to you.
Oh, it's funny because you think that I'm sitting here not in the same position as like you think that the shit is a game to me, but I don't. You. Woo, boy. My life. You gonna call somebody to pick you up?
She still got that flip phone in 2022? What in the world? She flipped that phone open quicker than crack.
That's what you're doing? Boy.
Really? I mean, how are you going to have a flip phone in 2022?
My life. You gonna call somebody to pick you up? That's what you're doing?
I haven't seen one.
Alright. That's all you
I
do.
wanted to come in here and I wanted to lay
Well, I
down.
wanted you to
And I
chill.
wanted to be comforted. I wanted to be sat there and told that we're gonna do our best and that we're gonna do what we gotta do.
We are.
I did not want to sit here and be questioned the second time in a row by you about 1 o'clock.
It's the second night in a row, and it's not 1 o'clock. It's 8:30.
About 1 a.m.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what Life 360 said.
And it wasn't 1 a.m. all that.
It was like 1:15.
And I got back at 1:25. I was gone for 12 minutes. It was
And then you
1:13.
went and met Misty.
Went and met Misty, got Oreo.
And you said they talked?
I think so, yes.
What did she say?
And she confirmed it.
She confirmed
I'm
it?
pretty sure, yes. It's not like they sat there and told you what was said.
Oh, but they.
They said that they spoke missing and they didn't question you no more about the ordeal.
Oh, okay.
No, they
I
didn't.
tell. I mean, because there was a word gel in that cabinet. But I'm not lying to you. So I need you to I need you to come back over here, like to me, like not right here physically, but I need you to come back over this way, okay? Because I did tell them there was a word gel in that cabinet. You know, there was 2 without a cap. There was 1 with a cap, from what my knowledge is. I know there was 3 things of word gel in that cabinet. Okay, that's fact. And they didn't check behind that mirror.
I don't know.
They didn't. I know that. Okay? But it was there. And it is, if you didn't grab it, why didn't you grab it?
Because my mom doesn't hurt it no more. I got the toothpick now. It's filled up. I can eat on this side now.
So after that night, you didn't eat it anymore?
No, not besides the
Why didn't you grab the Amazon or anything?
Because when I was trying that, it wasn't working. It was making me gag.
With the Q-tip?
When I was trying to put it in back there, it was making me gag going down the back of my throat.
Okay. Alright, well, you take your second. I'll talk in a second.
He didn't look. It was a waste of question. He said, go back to the FBI and put your own ass and you get sick.
No, I have no intention of that. I just need I'll go smoke a cigarette with you. It don't matter. I mean, just give me a second. I'll meet you down there because I'm just.
I want to know where my baby is. And I want people like you and that guy to stop coming at me like I did something to my child.
Why did I mention that to you? Because you, every time I ask you a fucking question.
No, Danny, it's not every time you ask me a question. It's
Oh.
every time you ask me about the money, I told you. It was when you went into other micro questions about it. That it felt like you were an FBI agent sitting here trying to question me.
But you don't treat me like that when I ask any other question? You don't treat me like that when I talk to you any other way? Or when
Yeah, I do.
You do treat me like that.
What do you mean?
You treat me like I'm accusing you of something.
No, I only do that when you sat there and you asked the first time I said yes. I'm like, no,
No,
what you continuously asking is when I started getting aggravated.
This time.
Huh?
This time.
Yeah, I am last night when you continuously asked. This time.
Damn. She's got an attitude problem.
They did exactly what they wanted to do. Tore us apart.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Very good. You didn't even admit it. Very tore us apart, and the way you treat me proves it.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Probably 5 seconds. I forgot my room key. Oh, damn it. Why don't they let it play a little?
She
Just so I
really
can be
liked you
right.
asking about that Oragel trip, did you?
No, sir, she didn't.
Now, sometime after this, did you agree also to have your telephone communications monitored?
Yes, sir, I did.
And
Also in 31,
say again?
it's then. Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. I thought it was on this document, a separate document. But yes, sir, I did agree to have my phone monitored.
I'd like to approach with what I marked at Stacy's in a 33-year-old. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
My consent for them to monitor my telephone, my
Now,
cell phone.
Was this is this a fair and accurate copy of that document?
Yes, sir.
Is it one of those forms or more than one?
There's multiple.
Why are there multiple?
There's a second one from a month later, because I guess they have to renew them, I guess.
Did you have any problem with agreeing to this?
No, not at all.
Why is that?
I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, they already knew about what I was doing drug-wise, so I had no issues with anything they wanted to find.
Your Honor, I would offer states 33 into evidence at this time.
No objection, Your Honor.
Right, the one on the front, is that the first one?
Yes, sir.
And when does that show that that document was signed?
The 9th of October,
And then what about the second one?
the 8th of November.
Okay, so the first one's on the 9th, and then you renewed it again a month later.
Yes, sir. And I still, even past this, there was contact between me and them so they could monitor.
So there was more than just that.
Yeah.
Now, did they explain to you what of your phone communications were going to be monitored, whether it was just your
All of them.
contact with the defendant or all of them?
Well, it says the purpose of viewing, listening to, and or recording any activity I may have with Leilani.
Was your understanding though that they would be able to listen to all of your telephone calls with anybody and see all of your text messages with anybody?
Yeah,
And you were still willing to do this?
absolutely.
Now, we just watched these videos from the hotel, and the timestamp, the date stamp shows that those were on October 8th, right?
Yes, sir.
And we've talked about the consent form for monitoring your phone, and that was, the first one at least, was signed on October 9th, right?
Yes, sir.
Where were you when you signed the second one?
My mother's house in North Carolina.
When did you go to your mother's house in North Carolina?
I think I signed this first paper, and I think I left Georgia that day, if I'm not mistaken.
Why did you leave Georgia?
Actually, no, I didn't leave Georgia. I left Savannah. I went to Atlanta for a weekend
And why did you go to Atlanta?
to get away from Savannah
And after Atlanta, where did you go?
to Dunn, North Carolina.
To your mother's house?
Yes, sir.
And was that, at that point, was that essentially the end of your time living in Savannah or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you a couple miscellaneous questions. Let me ask you this. Did things between you and the defendant kind of fall apart during this investigation?
Mm, there was already nothing there.
Do you remember ever seeing Quentin with any favorite toys or stuffed animals or anything like that?
No, not specifically.
Do you remember him having a favorite Mickey Mouse toy?
No, I don't.
If he had had a favorite Mickey Mouse toy, is that something that you think you would remember having lived with him during that time frame?
More than likely, yes.
And you have no recollection of that?
No, sir.
If he had had a Mickey Mouse toy that he slept with every night, would you think you would remember that?
Yes, sir, more than likely.
And do you remember anything like that?
No, sir.
Let me ask you about trash, okay? You lived in that house for some months, if I understand correctly.
How long? Yeah.
For a period of months, you lived there?
Yes.
Okay. We have seen introduced into evidence a picture of 3 trash cans on like a wooden rack in the carport area.
Yeah, I remember that.
What-
That rack.
Say again?
I remember the wooden rack where the trash cans were kept.
What did y'all do with garbage in that house, like kitchen garbage?
Took them to those 3 trash cans that were sitting on top of that rack.
And then what would you do with the trash cans?
They would get loaded up in the truck and dumped off in a larger dumpster to be taken away.
What dumpster would y'all use for that?
Azalea.
Son of a bitch. I was muted. I said, son of a bitch. Okay, so no, what I was saying was Leilani's mom, Billy Joel, which probably owes a lot of money to the city for her, for her not paying her trash bill. They literally would put instead of like putting the trash at the end of the curb like you're supposed to, right? End of the curb, there you are. The trash guy comes and takes your trash. You pay every month, right? Not Billy Joe Howe, not Billy. She just puts them into the big one and then takes it over to the trailer park where they have larger receptacles and then just uses their trash dump. You know? I remember her stating that too, that his favorite toy was missing. Yep. I can't believe I was muted after I went on my rant, but I went on it again. It's okay. Squeaky could have lasted a long time. I was actually on the same page with y'all there for once, because usually I'm on like the other page. But man, you're welcome, Stephanie. I think it's pretty interesting too. It's almost over. We only got about 5 more minutes left on the state side.
Mobile home.
Now, what vehicle would you use to take those
The truck.
those garbage cans to Azalea?
Thomas's white Silverado.
Is that something that you would do, or who would do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would anybody?
I
else,
would.
Would anybody else do that?
Not normally, no.
Okay.
That was his job.
Did you guys ever drive around with garbage in the back of the Dodge Journey?
No.
Like just a trash bag with leftover food in the back of the Dodge Journey?
No.
Why not?
That would stink up the vehicle. It just sounds nasty.
At the time, October 4th, October 5th, was there any garbage in the back of the Dodge Journey?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you have any recollection of ever having a garbage bag in the back of the Dodge Journey? Like full of leftover food?
Oh, no.
The back of the Dodge Journey is upholstered, right? It had carpet.
Yes, sir.
Um,
That's another
Let's
reason.
know about that shrimp dinner.
Why would you not want to put a trash bag full of old food on that?
Stain the carpet and seek in, and sounds nasty.
Do you have any recollection of having had any shrimp pasta in the household in the days leading up to Quentin's disappearance?
Possibly.
And anything more you remember about that?
No.
One moment, please.
What are they saying? What are they doing? Playing tic-tac-toe? I always wonder what they're doing, on the defense side. Oh, she wants to show you too. Oh, maybe they're playing like the hangman game.
Thank you.
You guess the letter, you guess the letter.
I ask council to approach.
Casey Anthony, that's what that reminded me of when they talked about the rotten food and the trash in the car. I thought of Casey Anthony. I don't know if they talk anymore. What's she listening to? What's everyone hearing but us? What are you listening to? Yeah, Mom's back. I'm sure that's what it is. It's probably just, stuff that she has, on her mind if she wants to write it down. What are they doing here? I guess she's just listening to something. What was that about? She said, I think. Hold on. Is that what she said? What was that about? Yep, that's exactly what she said. Dang. Look at me over here reading people's mouths like that. I've been watching this deaf girl do it. She does it for like celebrities when they're at like red carpet events, and she's like deaf, and so like she can read mouths like really well. What was that about again? 2 times.
Okay.
Probably to him again.
So, Mr. Youngkin, I'm going to ask you to step down. You can have a seat in the. I'm going to ask you to have a seat. You can leave that right there. So, ladies and
Hand me your
gentlemen,
hair
we
is
got
amazing.
started a little with the evidence itself a little bit later today, although we were working prior to that. I'm going to let y'all go for the evening, and we're going to start again in the morning.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that means that the I thought that the state got through all their questioning for him. So I guess they didn't. Wow. See, squeaky wheel. I said I'd even love Vincent even if he didn't have a head. Wait, what did he do today? He did something that was really nice. He does stuff that's nice every day, but I can't remember what it was now. You cooked a turkey? Dang, Anna. I had tacos and I thought that was a success, and I didn't even have to cook them. Vincent did. I've always wanted to try to cook a turkey. Your attorney did the same thing? Oh, pulled pork quesadilla. That sounds good. I would start withholding food from people around your house if they're not good to you, Mary Beth. That's what I'd do because you cook some good food. I'd be like withholding dessert, withholding my pulled pork quesadillas. I am charging a Nokia flip phone right now. Not sure because you're gonna find something good on there, Swifty. I have my old iPhone 4. I should plug that bad boy in. I don't know if I have the cable of I have the original charger, but I don't know if it works. But I bet you there's some good pictures on that camera or on that phone. I need to check that out. I needed to get these off of this camera too. So every time I look at my camera, it's so weird because my camera is like tilted now, like this, because for some reason to make this straight on the wall, it was like tilted before. Like I had to tilt my camera. So hopefully I don't look like I'm tilted, like I'm on like a boat or something about to fall off. That wouldn't be good. But I think that's all I really had for you Leilani, I want to show you guys these pictures. This is graphic content, graphic viewer discretion advised. Before I show these are going to be pictures of what remains of Quentin Simon. They are bone fragments. And it's sad. It's really sad. So I'm going to go ahead and share it now. Okay. So these are the pictures that let me go through this is the first picture. These are the bones that they found. That looks like a femur, maybe. That big bone right there. Could have been his femur because he's, so little, There's his skull. And I'm thinking like this line right here, this might have told them that it was a blunt object and not the compactor. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I am. And then that was the last one that they had up. But, it's crazy. I have a Kindle, I think. It's a Kindle. I think it's a Kindle. Yeah, I got a Kindle. It's like one of the first ones or second one or third one. It was like, I bought it like 7 years ago for Vincent for Christmas. He wanted a Kindle and he never used it. Not once, not one time. he doesn't read. I don't know why. Now I know. Oh, I shouldn't have ever gotten something like that. But I should use it. And thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. Today is my last day of being 38. Actually, in like 40 minutes. It makes my belly hurt. But I mean, I'm only turning a year older. I'm not the victim here. Your Kindle. I want to know which one is the one I have now. I think it's a Kindle. What's the other thing? Isn't there the Kindle's what you read with? I'm trying to think of where it's at. I think it might be down here. Actually. Let me see. It is. Oh my gosh, guys, it's actually right here. It still has like this. Look, it's like you can tell this thing has never been used before. It's not been brought out of this case. It needs to be charged, but I don't know what kind of Kindle this is. It's like the one where the screen doesn't glare at you. I don't know how to get it out, but thanks, Mary Beth, for gifting a membership. Your birthday's the 27th. Happy birthday. And thank you guys. Thanks for saying happy birthday. That's so sweet. Thank you. I still haven't thanked people on my Facebook from last year telling me happy birthday. That's how long it's been since I've been on Facebook. I can't get this thing out. I think it's like, I don't know what it's a really nice one though. I just like books. Like I like to read like and flip the pages and stuff. I think that's why I never used it because I don't the Paperwhite. That one is what it sounds like. Because I remember it was a certain one and it was like going to be better than the rest of them. And I was all excited to get it for him. And then I was sleeping on our Chase. We had a Chase at the time and I was sleeping on it one night. It was, I think I just had surgery. And I was in that, the pain medication stage where, you just get home, you still have like some of the sedative in you. And then you take a pain pill and you just pass out. And it's like the best sleep of your life. That's what I was in. I was in one of those coma type stages, and something woke me up. It must have been the dog chewing. She chewed through the wrapping paper and 2 boxes. And I caught her right before she got to the actual Kindle. I was like, she ate your stuff. Yeah, it's definitely new. Yeah. I need to use it. I need to use that thing or sell it or give it to somebody. I need to start getting rid of stuff. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I will be back on for my birthday, probably like sometime after me and Vincent eat. Vincent and I, it's so strange. He would take me anywhere I wanted to eat, right? He would be like, wherever you want to go. But for some reason, like, I would say we're 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I said, let's get Chili's or something. It was like something easy. I think they were having like the 2 for like 20 or 2 for 30 deal, but now it's like 2 for 60, like it used to be like pretty cheap. And I'm like, let's just get that, and eat in. Because I didn't want to get really dressed up to go out. I just didn't feel like doing that. So now every year we do the same thing. We get the same food. We like the dinner for 2 or whatever. And it's way more expensive now than it used to be, but we'll get that and then we'll share like the cheesecake. That's like my cake, I guess you would say. Princess never made me a cake. I should ask him to make me a cake this year. But I'm gonna ask him to take me to a pumpkin patch this weekend. So hopefully the weather stays hopefully the weather doesn't cool down too much because I want to wear a dress. At one point we start calling someone an old lady. 40. My dog. Mia. She's like swallowing. Mia. Hey. Hey, Mia. There you are. There she is. There she is. Okay, she's awake now. She was doing something funky. I am. Squeaky, I am getting stressed out about it. But I have to say, you know, my best friend, she turned 39 before me, 6 months, 2 days. So you had a hard time turning 42. See, Faith, I'm not the only one. I think it's just something different. It's just something different that's hitting you this year, like me this year. It's because I'm not in my 20s. I've almost lived my 30s. Oh my. So no, I'm not gonna go out and do anything too special. We're just gonna eat in like we normally do. And we just hang out with each other. And I'll probably come on and do a live tomorrow night because he gets on his computer and he does things anyway, like special different things that he does. So yeah. Thank you, Mary Beth, for gifting out memberships. That's so sweet. See, Faith, my mom had a big deal with 60. She had a big problem turning 60. And I wish I had video of that. I really wish I did. She did not want to turn 60. She kept me up all night. I mean, I was young. I was like, I was falling asleep on her. She's like, don't go to sleep. We're not going to sleep. She said she didn't want to turn 60. And I think she knew, even though it was after midnight, I think she knew after she went to sleep, she'd officially be 60. So, You're going to a new documentary in theaters this weekend called Are You Racist? Let us know how it is. I will, Mary Beth, and thank you for sending me something. That's really sweet. I've never had anyone send me anything. And I have that other one over here. I'm not going to open them until tomorrow. Have Vincent pick it up and I'll be excited. I'm excited. That made me excited. And Mary Beth, that's very, very kind of you. You're a really good friend. I haven't been surprised in years. Well, I mean, I'm sure Vincent's bought me something that surprised me though. But like when I want something, it's just different with like him, like I'll be like, Vincent, I saw this iPhone. I really like it. Do you want me to get it for you or something? You know what I mean? It's not something that's expensive all the time, but you know what I mean? Like he's usually good about just spoiling the crap out of me. So I'm excited. You're turning 16. You're not scared, Anna? Don't be scared. My mom, she woke up the next day, she was like, just another day, huh? She just felt a little bad. See, and that's what, you know what? You grew up in a good time and I grew up in a good time too. I was an 80s, 90s baby, but we literally had the best neighborhood around. She really is. Thanks, Mary Beth. You're very sweet. No, Mary Beth is very, very sweet. Makes me, I'm happy that she picked me to be her friend because y'all know Mary Beth is always out doing the mostest for people. So I appreciate you. But I'll be on tomorrow evening or tomorrow. Maybe I'll be on tomorrow during the day. I don't know why my hands itching so bad. Does that mean money? I hope so. I don't know what it means, but I might be on during the day tomorrow if I am, because I'm just going to be here. Vincent will be at work, during the day. So maybe I'll come on this channel or I'll be on the second channel, but we'll figure it out. The girl said good night. Look at Mia. She's falling out of her bed. And Araya's over here and she's sleeping. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. Bet Rocky's going to be at the door when I open it up. He wants some treats, but I'll be on tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a great day and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.